Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be reading Skippyjon Jones, the first original one, and it's by Judy Schachner. So let's get started. Skippyjon Jones. Every morning, Skippyjon Jones woke up with the birds. And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here right now, Mr. Kitten Britches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds," she scolded, "or ate worms, or flew, or did his laundry in Mr. Doohiggy's bird bath." The lecture went on and on as usual. "You've got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room," Mr. Fuzzy Pants said his mother, "about just what it means to be a cat, not a bird, not a mouse or a grouse, not a moose or a goose, not a rat or a bat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat. And stay out of your closet," she added, closing the bedroom door. But once he was alone, Skippyjon Jones began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones, and I bounce on my bed once or 6 times. I land on my head." On his way back down to earth from a gigantic big bounce, Skippyjon Jones shot past his bedroom mirror. "Holy guacamole!" exclaimed Skippyjon Jones. "What was that?" So he went again, and it appeared. Then, using his very best Spanish accent, he said, "My ears are too big for my head. My head is too big for my body. I'm not a Siamese cat. I am a Chihuahua." Back on land, Skippyjon Jones climbed into his toy box and riffled through some of his old junk. After he put on his mask and sword and climbed into his mouse, Skippyjon Jones began to sing a muy soft voice. "My name is Skippito Frisquito, clap clap. I fear not a single bandito, clap clap. My manners are mellow. I'm sweet like the jello. I get the job done, yes indeedo, clap clap." Back in the kitchen, Jujubee, Jezebel, and Jillyboo Jones were helping Mama Junebug Jones make lunch. "Can Skippy come out of his room now?" asked Jujubee. "No," answered Mama Junebug Jones. "Mr. Fluffernutter is still thinking." In fact, Skippyjon Jones wasn't thinking about being a Siamese cat at all. With a walk into his closet, his thoughts took him down a lonesome desert road, far, far away in old Mexico. Not long into his journey, a mysterious band of Chihuahuas appeared out of the dust. "Ay, caramba! Who goes there?" asked Skippyjon Jones. "Why, we go by the name of Los Chimichangos," growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Who are you?" "I'm El Skippito, the great sword fighter," said Skippyjon Jones. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. "Why the mosquito, dude?" asked Poquito Tito. "I go incognito," said Skippito. "Do you like rice and beans?" asked Pintolito. "See, I love mice and beans," said Skippito. "He might be the dog of our dreams," whispered Rosalita. "Perhaps," said Tia Mia, "if he knows the secret password." Leaning toward Don Diego, El Skippito half sneezed, half spoke the secret password into the Chihuahua's very large ear. "Ah, ah, ah! Chupichu!" "Bless you," said Don Diego. "Gracias," said Skippito. "Then it is true," decreed Don Diego. "Yippee, yippee, yippito. It's the end of Alfred Bazito. Skippito is here. We have nothing to fear. Aditos to Band Bumbleito." Then all of the chimichangos went crazy loco. First they had a fiesta, then they took a siesta. But after waking up, the chimichangos got down to serious bees' knees. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture in the sand of the great Bumbleito for Skippito to see. A hush grew over the chimichangos, so great that no one could hear a whisker drop. "Alfred Bazito," whispered the crowd. "El bimbito, boblito, bandito." "Sí," said Poquito Tito. "The bandito steals our frijoles." "Not your beans," cried Skippyjon, outraged. "Sí," Poquito continued. "Red beans, black beans, Boston baked and blue, cocoa, coffee, kidney beans, pinto, and jelly, too." "And now he comes for us," Poquito added. "Por qué?" asked Skippyjon. "Because we are full of the beans, too." Then Don Diego stood tall in his most somber voice and declared, "Yo quiero frijoles." "Huh?" asked Skippyjon. "The dude just wants his beans back," said Poquito Tito, "and you are the dog for the job." "Me?" asked Skippyjon. Then all of the chimichangos turned towards Skippyjon, the great sword fighter. But poor Skippyjon had no time for a plan, because in the blink of an eye, a gigantic shadow darkened the landscape. The chimichangos scattered in all directions. "Vamos, Skippyjon, or it is you the bandito will eato," they cried. Skippyjon stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like jello, and his teeth chattered like castanets. Then in my muy soft voice he said, "My name is Skippyjon Fresquito. I fear not a single bandito." But Alfredo Bazito flew straight for Skippyjon until the bean-eating bandito hovered only a few inches away from the great sword fighter's face. "Holy frijoles!" cried Skippyjon as he thrust his sword in the air. Pop! Suddenly the bandito went landing on Skippyjon's sword, and quicker than one could say chihuahuas, cheese, and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out of Alfred Bazito, the bumblebee bandito. Then all the doggies burst into a song. "Yip, yippee, yippito, clap, clap. Our hero is El Skippyjon, clap, clap. He's the dog of our dreams who delivered the beans, and now we can make our burritos, clap, clap." But back at home, there was such a ruckus coming from Skippyjon Jones' room that Mama Junebug Jones and the girls just had to find out what was going on. They raced down the hall to the kitty boy's room. "Beanquito, Crashito, Papito, Scapito," just in time to see Skippyjon Jones' closet exploding. Then out flew Candy, beanbag doggies, and the kitty boy with his birthday piñata on his head. "Skippyjon Jones," everyone cried. "Holy muchachitas," he said in a muy soft voice. Mama Junebug Jones lifted up Skippyjon and covered his head with furry, purry kisses. "What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cocoa Pugs?" she scolded. That night, when he was supposed to be going to sleep, Skippyjon began to bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones, with a mind of my own, and I'll bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that. Say good night," Skippyjon Jones called his mama. "Buenos noches, mis amigos," said Skippyjon Jones. The end. That was the end of the first Skippyjon Jones books, guys. I hope you liked it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below, and tune in for my other videos. Thanks for watching.